Shalom. If everybody can let me know if you can hear me or not. Just let me know if you can hear me. You can just give me a number one if you can hear me. Let me get a number one if you can hear me. We're going to get this class started in a second. Everybody like and share this video. Just put a number one in the comment section if you can hear me. All right. All right, let's go ahead and get this class started, man. The water to everybody that hit that one button for me and let me know everything is loud and clear. The water. Of course, you see the topic today, that the Bible is a black man's book. It was written by black people for black people. So, you know what I mean? We're going to get into it. We are the I.S.U.P.K. We started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York City, under Commanding General YAHANNA. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite groups. We teach the truth according to the Bible, man, that the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the descendants of the 12 tribes of Israel. And with that being said, this Bible is our history book. This Bible is our history book. Just like the white society has their history books in the school about, Thomas Jefferson and Christopher Columbus and everybody else, which is all a bunch of terrorists and liars, might I say. But just like every other nation has their history book, black man doesn't have a history. Our history so-called starts in slavery. When we come over here in those slave ships, and before that, we would just all assume we from Africa. But the truth is, we do have a history book. We do have a history that's beyond slavery, that's beyond the transatlantic slave trade. And that history is the history of the Israelites. When we talk about the Israelites, we're talking about Moses. We're talking about Peter. We're talking about Paul, Solomon, David, Esther, Ruth. We're talking about Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Samson, John. These people, Adam and Eve, those are our forefathers. Those are our ancestors. Before, like I said, before slavery in America, before the transatlantic slave trade, before being captive in Africa, fleeing out of Jerusalem from Roman persecution. You understand? So, in the case you all know, you can go get a book. It's called From Babylon to Timbuktu. You can look it up on Amazon.com. I think it's probably like $10 on Amazon.com. It's called From Babylon to Timbuktu. All right, it's a good book. Explains a lot of different good things. Mainly, who are the Jews? The Jews being black, which is our class today. These people in this book is black. Now, we think that they're white people. We think that this is a white man's book. If you ask anybody, it's a white man's book. Why is it a white man's book? Because white people push Christianity and slavery, right? They push Christianity and they use the Bible to push Christianity. When all actuality, Christianity has nothing to do with the Bible. Like you see a picture in the Christianity and coming up in slavery times, when you see Christian churches, you see what? Caesar Borgia, or who we ignorantly call Jesus Christ, which is the painting was called White Jesus. It's a painting of White Jesus. That's Caesar Borgia. He's the second son of the sixth Pope Alexander in Rome. That's who that is. He's a homosexual. He's a child molester. He's guilty of incest and so many other things. I want to get into some things, but let's go ahead and get into these scriptures real quick, man. All right. And if you have any questions, I'm a little short-handed today, so I'm gonna try to answer as much questions as I can. I'm gonna try to go back and forth from YouTube to Facebook and answer as many questions as I can. But during the Renaissance, you know, the Roman Empire, which was one of the most mightiest empires, you know what I mean, in the earth at one time, they were shut down. Like they came to an end. Their rulership came to an end. From the Roman Empire, there were many other nations that transpired from the Roman nation. America being one of them. You know what I mean? All of them being Caucasian nonetheless. But the Roman Renaissance, I mean, it's like the Renaissance era, which happened after the fall of Rome. Yeah, you know I mean, that was called the Dark Ages. And during the Dark Ages, it's really said to be a time of famine and, you know, diseases and pestilence and all of those, just a very dark and, you know, ill time. But reality, the truth is that the Dark Ages was literally a time when black people, dark people, ruled the earth. And during that time, some of those dark people that were ruling the earth were what? King James. King James is a black man. All right? King James is a black man. Beethoven is a black man. Shakespeare is a black man. Michelangelo is a black man. Those painters. You know what I mean? So we don't know those things, but during that era, the Dark Ages or the Renaissance was when black people ruled, man. We were in rulership. And King James is a black man. So we can prove it. We got books that talks about King James. The only reason we think King James is white, the same reason we think Jesus Christ is white. Because and the same reason we think everybody in the Bible is white. And anybody from that time that was great is white is because what? Because that was the time of the Renaissance, which is Renaissance means rebirth. And the Renaissance was rebirthing. They were rebirthing the Roman Empire. That's where the Renaissance gave birth to what? The Roman Catholic Church. The Roman Catholic Church had commissioned painters. They commissioned other scholars like King James, who knew many languages. They commissioned them to not only translate the Bible that was written in Hebrew and Latin, to commission them to translate the Bible into English, which was the modern tongue of that time, English. But they also commissioned artists like Michelangelo to do what? To go and take the ancient images, the ancient portraits of priests and prophets that were in the Bible, like Christ, for example, or Moses, or Adam and Eve. They commissioned those painters to repaint those images in the likeness of themselves, which is what? In white images. So let's go ahead and get into the scriptures right quick, man. All right. So in all, I mean, I'm gonna seem to go in circles at time, but it all ties in together. The Roman Catholic Church and the Renaissance era was rebirthing what Rome had established, but more so they were reestablishing white supremacy. All right. So let's go ahead and get it, man. Like I said, I'm short-handed today, so y'all follow along with me. Let me get Job chapter 9, verse 24 to start it off first, all right? We're going to start it off from there. We're going to go backwards, all right? We're going to start from why we think the Bible is a white man's book, or, you know, how we prove that it's not a white man's book, and then we're going to go and show you that it's absolutely black people that are writing these stories in this Bible. So let me get Job chapter 9, verse 24. Everybody just, you know, take a second to grab that right quick. If you have any questions, like I said, just put them in the comment section. Short-handed today and kind of got my hands in all the different operations. But just let me know. You know what I mean? We seasoned in I.S.U.P.K. We can do this, man. All right, we're going to do this together. All right? So I'm going to give you a second to get it. If you could just put a 1 in the comment section, let me know when you got it. Job chapter 9, verse 24. All right, perfect. So everybody got it. So let's go ahead and read it. Job chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. All right, so we know what the earth is. The earth is a planet, right? In order for the earth to be put into somebody's hand, it's not literally talking about putting it in their hands, but it's giving these people that were given authority over the earth are the wicked. Now, we look at the earth today, and we go through history during the colonial ages, where the Spaniards, the Portuguese, the Italians, they were exploring, so-called exploring and so-called discovering, call it colonial ages, but what were they doing? They were colonizing different lands and different villages and nations. They were colonizing them. How were they doing it? They come in peace. And they act as if they would come in peace. What the scripture says, though they stretch forth their hands as if they're at peace with you, war is in their hearts. See, this is what we didn't know at that time. Because, of course, at that time, we didn't know the Bible. But now we do. And now when our enemies stretch forth their hands as if they're at peace with us, we know that they're the devil that the Bible speaks of, that they're the wicked that the Bible speaks of. And we don't shake hands with devils. We don't make peace treaties with devils. You understand? We don't make covenants with the heathens. All right? So we're wiser now. You know what I mean? So the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Like I said, after the colonial ages, like I said, Rome was one of the last ruling empires. Then it went into like the Greeks and Spain and some other countries. I got a list that I break down in Revelations, the 13th chapter, the whole birth of the 10 common stock markets. If you can go look it up, go look up the 10 common stock markets. That was what came out of all of those ancient civilizations that were built by heathens. The 10 common stock markets, which is the 10 powers that rule the earth today, the 10 leading powers on the earth today, all right? Which is all white society, different sectors, tribes, however you want to call it, of white society, all right? So after the colonial, we go into the Renaissance. Sometime after, where they want to rebirth Rome because Rome was so great. And that's why you see America has the pillars and all of the state capitals. They got the pillars and the ancient gods and the, Zeus and everybody, in different parts of the U.S. and they're on what's it called, government grounds. You see these statues, same infrastructures or setups that you would see in Rome, but nonetheless, they colonized the land, and the white man rules the earth right now. All right, so we can get into Revelations 13 chapters, an excellent breakdown for that to get more in depth with that. But of course, today I'm just giving y'all a little brief story, a little backdrop to get more into what we're bringing out today about why we don't know this Bible is a black man's book. Okay, all right. So the earth is given into the hands of the wicked, and it says he covereth the faces of the judges thereof. What does it mean to cover the faces of the judges thereof? Who are the judges, right? Who are the judges? We can know and name one major judge in the earth, who is Jesus Christ, right? Jesus Christ is one of the greatest judges, the most perfect black man to ever walk the earth. You understand? A black man from the tribe of Judah. He was the most important man to ever walk the earth. All right, Jesus Christ, so-called Jesus Christ, who we know in the ancient Hebrew as Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. All right, so these people who are the wicked that the earth that rule the earth, they cover the faces of the judges thereof. So with that being said, we can go into this Bible, which we're going to do today, and we can show you the description of Jesus Christ. Where Jesus Christ is depicted as an austere black man from the tribe of Judah, who was austere, you know what I mean? Who had the appearance of lightning, who had a very loud voice, just like all black men do. You know what I mean? All black people do. We all talk loud. We all yell all the time. You can hear our phone conversations from across the street. We on the train. You know all our business on the train, on the corner at the bus stop. We just loud. It's our history. You understand? Christ was a loud black man from the tribe of Judah. Okay? Now, we don't know that, and why don't we know that? Because the wicked covers the faces of the judges thereof. We see Jesus Christ today depicted around the earth on billboards, on T-shirts, on magazines, and everywhere else. He's a white man. He's a white man. He's a Caucasian man with stringy dog hair, baby blue eyes, you know what I mean, nice, smooth layer of skin, you know what I mean, and that's the devil that the Bible speaks of. And again, the word devil only means deceiver. And this is showing you in depth the deceiver and his deception. He's deceived us into believing that Jesus Christ is a white man. He's deceived us into believing that this Bible is a white man's book or is anything but a black man's book. You know what I mean? You see all the movies. You see Passion of Christ. Even the Egyptians is white according to them. They so deceiving. All right, they're the devils that the Bible speaks of, or the wicked. All right, so read it from the top. Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. Everywhere we look, man, and like I said, during the Renaissance era, you know what I mean, during the Dark Ages, they had these so-called Italians, which we know today are black people. They were not Italians at all. Michelangelo was not an Italian. He was a black man. He was a Negro. All right. Let me see. Matter of fact, let me get in here right quick. I got some stuff right here pulled up. Okay. Yes. What's the other brother's name? Leonardo da Vinci, which is another famous artist from that Renaissance era. All right. He was a black man. He painted what? The Mona Lisa. He painted what? The Last Supper. He painted the image of the Last Supper. And in the Last Supper, what do you see? You see a bunch of white people or oppressors gathered together, so-called supposed to be Christ and his disciples, white people. You understand? Because they were commissioned at that time by white society to cover the faces of the judges thereof, to paint the priests as white people, to paint the prophets as white people, paint the disciples as white people, anything biblical as white people. And then now, even today, we don't even know that the people that painted those pictures were black people as well. You know what I mean? Also, Michelangelo painted that old image of Adam and Eve, where they sitting, Adam sitting back naked with his tiny rod, and he got his finger out like that, and Eve up there naked, and she holding her finger, and they touch it. That was painted by a black man. But they're depicting what? Biblical characters who are what? Adam and Eve, Moses, Samson, Jesus Christ, so-called Jesus Christ. And the Bible tells us otherwise according to what their perception is. Their description is, okay? All right, just making sure y'all follow along. So during that era, it was a lot of what's called whitewashing. You know what I mean? Whitewashing, okay? So let's go back into it now. So the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. And it says, if not where and who is he? Like, we always trying to figure out who the devil is. The Christian church is such a lying, sinful, wicked, disgusting, homosexual place to be for any black man, Hispanic, or Native Indian. It's a terrible place to be. It's full of lies and deception and crime, man. That's what's going on in the Christian church. They got black people, Hispanics, and Native Indians believing that a devil is some little man with a pitchfork, some little red man with a pitchfork and horns on his head, and he's in the middle of the earth, I guess waiting for you to die so you can come down here and chill with him and, I guess, burn forever. And that's all mythical, man. That's not in the Bible. That's not in the Bible. You understand? The Bible says there's many devils, all right? There's many devils. But the Bible also says what? The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Like, we talking about the same people or the same person. Now, there are people who say that the devil, you're the devil, or she's the devil. Anybody that's doing something wrong is the devil. But no, that's not the truth, man. Let me go ahead and get let me get back to it. Lock here. Let me get John chapter 8, verse 44. Let's all get there right quick. John chapter 8, verse 44. They say you the devil, he the devil. Oh, you getting high? You the devil. This and that. Black people doing wrong things are the devil. The devil is a little man with a red pitchfork on his head, with the pitchfork with the horns on his head. And hell is a place you go when you die. But all of that is wrong, man. The devil is our oppressor who colonized us. The devil is the man who's running the free world right now in the White House. That got Mexicans in cages. The devil is the man who went into the church and shot 9 innocent black people. The devil is the man who killed the Native Indians at Wounded Knee. The devil is the man that wiped out the Incans and the Mayans, who were the original, who are some of the forefathers of Mexicans in America. Mayans, Incans, Aztecs, you know what I mean? That's who the devil is. The devil is one who made our people extinct. The devil is the one who brought us over here on those slave ships and that who we were sold to in America. That's the devil, man. That's the deceiver. You know what I mean? Devil only means deceiver. These people have been deceiving us since day one to the point where we think the Bible is a white man's book. We think that everybody can be saved. We think that we're supposed to just forgive everybody. Anybody is not doing right is a devil. Well, hell, if that's the case, then the goddamn government of America is the devil then. The CIA is the devil. You know what I mean? The police force is the devil if that's the case. You know what I mean? But we know the truth in I.S.U.P.K. that who the devil is, man. Our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. And because for over 400 years we've come up under these people, we become to be like them. We become liars like them. We become thieves like them. We become homosexuals like them. We become drug dealers and gangsters and mob bosses, so-called, and all those things we learn from them, man. So let's get John 8 and 44 right quick. All right, so John 8 and 44 says, "Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father you will do." Now, we know who the devil is, right? We know the lust of the devil, what he does. He raped us in slavery. He broke the buck. He tore black families apart. He hung us from trees. He sunk dogs on us. He did all of these things. That's what the devil did. The devil killed Trayvon Martin. The devil killed Sandra Bland. They killed Eric Garner. The devil killed the Charleston Nine. The devil got Mexican brothers out here depicting them as some kind of gangsters and warlords. You know what I mean? And separating them from their family. That's who the devil is, man. And what do? We do the same thing. So at times we can be of our father the devil, because what does the scripture say? To whom you yield your members to, meaning whoever can get you to do certain things, that's who you serve. You know what I mean? And because we ignorantly follow after America, and because we ignorantly follow after the Christian church, we become criminals. We become gangsters and hoes and thoughts and everything else, and drug dealers and drug addicts. And we essentially become as our father the devil, because the devil is the authority over America. The devil is authority over the earth. The devil is an authority over the Christian church. But in the I.S.U.P.K, the only authority that we serve is commanding Jenny YAHANNA and the Most High in Christ, man. You know what I mean? So we're not doing all of the things that everybody in the world do, man. But let's keep going. All right, so we know who the devil is. So it says, "Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father you will do. He was a murderer from the beginning." You understand? So we look at these people and we think that they can be saved. We want to save them. We think that they're nice people with their little smooth face and little blue eyes and a blonde hair, and they look like they wouldn't harm a fly. But from the beginning, from the womb, they are murderers, man. They are liars from the womb. That, like the scriptures say, they are estranged from the womb. They come out. As soon as they come out telling lies. As soon as they come out, they ready to murder. They're murderers, man. You can't trust them. All right, you cannot trust them. All right, so like it says, he was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. And that's why you have situations like what? The native Indians, when Christopher Columbus, the Pilgrims came here to America, and what happened? They so-called was what? Learn from the native Indians. The native Indians taught them how to till the land, taught them how to survive through the winter, taught them how to use the buffalo for meat and use it for, making utensils, and using it for the hide to make clothes. And after learning all of this and the native Indians extending so much peace, they slaughtered the native Indians, man. They murdered the native Indians. Why? Because they abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him, man. There is no love in him. There is no brotherhood in him. They don't love black people. They don't love black people. They don't love Hispanics and Native Indians, man. All right? They hate us, okay? So after a while, what happened? The Native Indians made hundreds of treaties with the white man, or our oppressor. They made hundreds of treaties, and they broke all the treaties, because the truth is not in them. They'll say, oh yeah, they'll shake your hand and say, you know what, let's be friends, all men created equal, and then you turn around and find out that black people ain't nothing in America. You turn around and find out that Hispanics is nothing in America. Native Indians are nothing in America. So when they told us that all men created equal, it was a lie. It was something deeper to it that we didn't know, but they fooled us. They deceived us. All right? So when it says, now this is the part I want to get right now, where it says, when he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own. What is a lie? That Jesus is not black. That's the lie. Jesus is not black. But because they speak of their own, what color is he? Oh, he's white. Because they speak of their own, what color is Moses? White. He's not black. He's white. Jesus is not black. He's white. You know, and they'll put all of these pictures out and mass produce it all around the earth. You know, like I said, you see that these King James, for example. You see King James. You Google King James, you'll see a picture of a white man. That is a lie. You understand? That is a lie. King James was a black man. You know what I mean? His son was a black man, and he ruled after King James died. He ruled. All right? There were many people ruling in the Dark Ages. Why? Black people ruled in the Dark Ages, and that's why they called it the Dark Ages, because it was when black people were in rulership. Okay? So now let's get more into it. So it says right here, like I said, when he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it, man. Like I said, black people lie, Hispanics lie, Native Indians lie, but you know we lie because we're of our father the devil. We've been up under a lying nation for 400 years, and because of the I.S.U.P.K, we're able to finally come into the truth and have truth in us and be not fearful and be able to not fear saying the truth or knowing the truth. And it becomes so cold and so hardcore that it ain't just about telling the truth, like, you know, oh, you know what I mean, I'm doing this or I'm doing that, being honest with your wife, being honest with your husband. But we're honest and we come up in the streets and we tell our oppressors the truth. We speak our truth about this Bible and the crimes of America and the crimes of our oppressor, and we tell the truth about it every day, man, in the streets. And they hate us for it, man. They hate us for it. But what did Christ say? Just know when they hate you, they hated me first. They hated Christ for the same reason, man. You think Christ was just this loving, rice-skinned, strong, stringy hair, baby blue eyes man that they just picked him to be? No. If that was the case, why would they ever kill him? Why would they ever kill him? Nah, because he was a black man. And he was austere, and he was loud, and he was aggressive. He had much courage, and he was teaching the same thing that we teach here in I.S.U.P.K, that everybody doesn't like, that everybody hates and calls us a hate group, and they hate us for it. And guess what? They hated Christ for the same reason. But when these people who are the devil or the wicked, when they speak if they lie, they speak of his own, man. Anytime you think of something great, you gotta always think about these people. Batman is white. You know, Superman is white. Jesus is white. Beethoven is white. Shakespeare is white. Everybody great got to be white, huh? Just because what they're perpetuating is white supremacy, man. Because when you see this greatness and you see this greatness attached to what? Them, then you will have to believe that these people are superior, or these people are, elite, or holy, or some kind of righteousness, or godly. And that was the whole plan. You understand? That's what the whole plan of the Renaissance era was. The Renaissance era was what? Rebirth Rome, or white supremacy. And they did it because what? At some point in time, they was going like the Spaniards against the Portugal against the Italians. But then after a while, they just said, we all white. Let's just come together and just, rule the earth. You know what I mean? And they did that. And nonetheless, they knew that the most important thing that can stop their reign is this Bible right here, man. This Bible right here. So that's why they went and they changed the colors of the priests and prophets. They whitewashed them. Go look up a book called The Russian Icons. The Russian Icons. That book probably $4,000 online. And that's the reason why. Because they don't want you to know the truth. But that book shows those Caucasians painting, side-by-side images that we see, that we post all the time. If you look at my Facebook page, UPK that image that's in my profile pic is supposed to be an image of David, or Dawada, you understand, King David. But it's a black man, you understand? Ancient art. But they had pictures like that, and right here next to them, and they had a nice blank canvas, and they were painting the same image over, but making it a white man. Then they put that picture out, and they hide these pictures. They hide that. And along with that, they created a new doctrine. You understand? They didn't go in the Bible and read what it was really about and teach what it's really about. They created a doctrine. They flipped words and used words like world and made it mean everybody on the face of the earth. So now when you read God so loved the world, you think that it means everybody. But if God so loved the world meaning everybody, that's Christianity, man. It's a lie. You understand? It's a false interpretation. Is what the Bible calls the doctrine of devils, man. Christianity is a doctrine of devils. We go to church and they get that Bible and they sing such good songs and they beat them drums and they play that piano and you get the running around and you call yourself so-called having the Holy Spirit and the Holy, and really you're reacting and have the same feeling as you would if you were at a DMX concert. The same feeling you would have if you was at a Celine Dion concert, you know what I mean? Or you know, anybody else that you like to go see, you know what I mean, that rock the crowd. It's the same thing, man. The church is a concert. There ain't no Holy Spirit in there. You understand? Ain't no Holy Spirit in the church. Ain't no truth in the church. You know what I mean? And just to get a little backdrop, because I'm about to get into these colors in a minute. You know what I mean? Let me go back. Let me check and see if anybody had any questions. I'm not sure. You understand? Insert pictures of white man gods and their deity for the purpose of deception and confusion. All right. See, I mean, what the brother Kazak is bringing out is heavy. You understand? He's talking about, you know, the images and how they painted them as white people, or deceived us by what? Painting the images of great people or judges and painting them as their self. All right. So, nonetheless, where I was about to go to, Salakia. Okay, yeah, so we're gonna get into these colors, but real quick, what I was gonna bring out, Salakia. No sweat, don't even worry about it. But nonetheless, these people had to whitewash the images in order to teach us, you know, to make themselves look like the great ones. When really it's black people who are the great ones. It's black people, Hispanics, and Native Indians who are the inventors of everything. You know what I mean? It's another book that you can go look up called 100 Amazing Facts About Negroes. And you look that up and it tells you about all of the things that we originated from military, from science, from arts and manufacturing, engineering, you know, technology, government, all of those things, man. Cleanliness, hygiene. We are the originators of those things, all right? So go look that book up. It's a good book, all right? So let's get into it right quick, all right? Let's get into these colors and then we'll jump back out again to some more of why we don't know these things, all right? So let's go to Daniel chapter 7, verse 9. Daniel chapter 7, verse 9. Okay? Daniel chapter 7, verse 9. Daniel chapter 7, verse 9. Okay? So, Daniel chapter 7, verse 9. Let me know what you got. Just put a 1 in the comment section so I can know brothers and sisters have it. And I'm going to go ahead into it and read it for you, man. Okay, we know we airing live in South Carolina. We air live for Savannah, Georgia. If you have any questions, like, share, and comment on this video so we can get this truth out there to everybody we can get it out to. You know, like I say, we in the I.S.U.P.K, we're professionals here. You know, we're the biblical scholars in the earth. Like, if you want to know anything about the Bible, you have to learn from the I.S.U.P.K. And the I.S.U.P.K is not affiliated with any other Israelite group. Just because you have fringes don't mean you in the truth. Okay? So let's go ahead and get it, man. Daniel chapter 7, verse 9. Everybody got it? All right, I'm going to get into it. All right, so Daniel chapter 7, verse 9 says, I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit. So this is Daniel having a vision of who? He's having a vision of the Most High. You understand? Who in the scriptures right now is being called the Ancient of Days. The Ancient of Days did sit. He's talking about the Most High. The Most High is the Ancient of Days. What does the Ancient of Days mean? It means before time. Because what? The Most High created everything. He created, you know, him and the angels, they created what? They created the earth. They created the heavens, the waters, the trees, the animals, the mankind. They created everything. So before there was night and day, there was the Most High. So the Ancient of Days. Go ahead. So we're going to get into it now. Salagia. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow. So he's saying that the Most High had a white garment on. And if anybody knows about Israelite culture, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we always have, priestly garments. Just like the Native Indians had at some point. And even we were the first cowboys. Like, we were the first cowboys, and we used to have garments with leathers just like this one with the fringes, and we had garments that was glorious. You know what I mean? Well, the Most High has a garment on. These garments that the priests in biblical time wore were warlike apparel or war garments. Because again, the Most High, Christ, and all of these priests and prophets were black men, and they were men of war. All right? The Most High says he's the Lord of hosts, meaning the Lord of an army. And that's why all of these brothers were ready to kill, and they did kill. And that's why the Most High was ready to kill, and he did kill as well, because this is warfare. And the Most High in Christ has since the beginning of time been fighting and warring for what? What have they been fighting and warring for? They've been fighting and warring for who? The blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, or the nation of Israel. From Genesis to Revelations, this is what we read about. And not only are they fighting for the nation of Israel, but they're fighting for superiority. They want the nation of Israel to be the leading nation on the earth, the superior nation on the earth, all right? So we're talking about the Most High. He had on a white garment, all right? And the hairs of his head were white like wool, okay? White, it's like, and the hairs of his head were like the pure wool. And of course, we know pure wool, like if you see my face here, you can probably hear it. You hear that, man? That's like wool right there, man. You know what I mean? If I have my hair out, man, you can see that, like, black man's hair is like wool. It's nappy, and it can be matted sometimes if we don't comb it and brush it. But it's like wool. It's a wool texture. All right? This is the only people on the face of the earth. Hispanics get woolly hair, and, other Native Indians get woolly hair. You know what I mean? It's only within our nation of Israel, of those people that have that woolly hair, man. Okay? So it said like pure wool. And it says, his throne was like a fiery flame, a fiery flame, Slaki. His throne was like a fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. Like, this is absolutely extraordinary, what we're reading right now. His throne was like a fiery flame, and his wheels as a burning fire. Why can't he just have a regular throne and regular wheels? I got another question for you. Why can't black people just have a regular car with regular factory stuff on it? The same reason, man. Because black people are just like the Most High. Because we are one. You understand? We are his chosen people, the nation of Israel. These are our forefathers, Christ and his Father in heaven, man. They are extraordinary when it comes to what? Having nice things, being extravagant, like having, like I said, black people will put 24-inch rims on the car. Most High got what? His wheels is as a flame of burning fire. We put TVs in the car. We chop the top off the Maybach. You know what I mean? Like, we just cannot have a car and just be a regular car. We always got to pimp it. You understand? Where do you think Pimp My Ride come from? It's the same thing as black culture. We always pimping something, making it, remaking it, reinventing it, swagging it out, or creating that drip, or however brothers and sisters communicate or say things today, and whatever slang we use, which slang itself is also in the Bible, slang. You know what I mean? We're going to get into that as well, some different instances of slang being used in the Bible, stuff that we use today, same slang that we use today that only blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians can understand, all right? So let's go ahead and keep down. So that's Revelation chapter 9. So let's go down to verse 10. Verse 10 says, Salagia. Actually, Salagia. Let's drop that one. Yeah, let's drop that one. Let me get so that was Daniel's vision of the Most High, right? So let's get Revelations chapter 1 verse 13. Revelations chapter 1 verse 13 Let's start at verse 1. Revelation chapter 1, verse 1. All right, and everybody following along, just let me know if I need to slow down. If you have any questions, like I said, I'm short-handed today, so I'm trying to bounce back and forth on my phone here from the site and making sure I get all y'all questions. You know, I mean, this is what class is about. We want to make sure y'all get some tutelage. And everybody should have questions. You know what I mean? Everybody should have questions. All right. So let's see what we got here. You understand? Kazak Shapar said we are unique. That's correct. We are unique. We're the inventors and the originators of all these things that are beautiful, that are great in the earth. Okay? So let's go ahead and get Revelations chapter 1, verse 1. Revelation chapter 1, verse 1 says, the revelation of Jesus Christ, or Yahweh Shah Mashiach. So with Revelation chapter 1, the beginning of Revelations is going to reveal who Christ is. That's what revelation means. It means to reveal. That's why it's a lot of prophecies in Revelations, because those are things to be revealed. All right? So we're going to what? Reveal Jesus Christ, or Yahweh Shah Mashiach. So Revelations 1 and 1, the revelation of Jesus Christ. Now let's drop down to verse 13, okay? And like I said, we look around and where every picture we see of Jesus Christ, what do we see? It's a white man, you know what I mean? And it's not just any white man, to be exact. It's Caesar Borgia. Like I said, that's second son of the sixth pope in Rome. The Roman Catholic Church, it all ties in together, man. The Roman Catholic Church at the end of the beginning and the end of the Renaissance era was all towards gaining white supremacy, man. That's why the Roman Catholic Church is the umbrella to all of the other Christian organizations like Baptist Church Christians, Methodist Christians, Pentecostal Christians, Seventh-day Adventist Christians, Jehovah's Witness Christians. All of those denominations are all products of the Roman Catholic Church. It's all Christianity. And that brings me back to what I wanted to say. All right? We look at our black pastors today, and the church got so much soul in it that we think that this is of the Lord. We think that soul is of the Lord because they got so much of conviction. And the Bible says that Jesus would come and save you. And you feeling it. And they got the piano player. He's so skilled on the keys. But the truth is, these pastors are sellouts, man. They are sellouts, man. They putting on a show and they rocking y'all straight to sleep, man. When you think back to a time in slavery when we didn't know how to read, man. We didn't know how to read the English. They didn't teach us how to read. They didn't allow us to read. You got caught reading or trying to read, they'll cut your tongue out your mouth. But then there were brothers like Nat Turner that came up that learned how to read. Nat Turner learned how to read. Came in that Bible. He started reading stuff like, for God so loved the world, Jesus died and blah, blah, blah for our sin. He read things and they took him in. The white man took him in and they used him like they use our Christian pastors today to go out and teach us lies, man. So he was going, they had him because it's like we just read about in Hanukkah, right? For the story of Hanukkah. What it says, in Greece, wicked men were sent out, of our people. Wicked men were sent out to compel us to make a covenant with the heathen, to compel us to do the king's commandments. So in other words, we have people like T.D. Jakes in Greece. We have people like Creflo Dollar, Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, Martin Luther King, and every other black leader that says they're representative of the Most High, that only are teaching us the doctrine of Christianity. All right? Because what Nat Turner did, he was teaching us what they allowed him to teach. During that time in slavery, when you had a black man that knew how to read, they would use him to go and teach the slaves. Because if we hear it from our brother, then we might be more prone to follow him and listen to what he's saying, because it's one of us. And that's how they used to get us, man. But Nat Turner had to sit there like any other pastor during that time, and they had to have white supervision. There was a supervisor in the church making sure Nat Turner teach what they told him to teach. And now, like I said, that is what we see in every day in these universities. Black men, Hispanics, Native women, they're all going to university and colleges and learning how to be preachers and pastors, and they're teaching them what they want them to teach. And they don't even have to go to the church, because when you get that degree 4 years down the line of theology or whatever they call it, and you get that degree, you think you're ordained and you know the truth and it makes sense. But to be honest, you're not. You're not. You don't know the truth. You're teaching lies. You're a puppet. You're destroying your people because you're depriving them of the truth that's really in this Bible, what's really being said in here. So longer the story short, brothers like Nat Turner one day decided, like there's something going on here. I'm reading in the Bible where it says, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquities of their fathers. I'm reading in this Bible where it says, happy ye shall be that dasheth thy little ones against the stones. I'm reading the Bible and I'm reading where it says that Jesus is a black man. I'm reading where it says that Solomon is a black man. And Nat Turner began to know that it's something ain't right about what they're telling me to teach, and there's more to this Bible than what they're telling me to teach. All right. So longer the story short, Revelation chapter 1 verse 13. This is the depiction of Christ, right? Now, this is something that is not heavy in the Christian church. They don't teach these things. They don't bring it out. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't support the white supremacy motive, right? So that's not what they teach in theological college and theological universities. Okay, so we have these Christian pastors that were sent out and compelling us to do what? To sin. The laws is done away with. And we end up lost and confused and just ignorant. And what does the Bible say? We're destroyed for the lack of knowledge, man. All right, but you're gonna get that word today, man. Okay? All right, so Revelation chapter 1, verse 13 says, in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man. So in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, a brother asked me about that before, about the candlesticks, and what does the candlesticks represent? The candlesticks right here represent the 7 churches that were set up by Paul, man. All right, and it's saying that one of them was likened unto the Son of Man. And this Son of Man, what it's talking about, is talking about Christ, all right? So he's talking about Christ. So this is revelation of Jesus Christ, right? So this is a vision of Christ, all right? So it says, and in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot. Again, he clothed with the garment, just like the Most High was clothed with the garment down to the foot. This is warlike apparel. You know what I mean? This is something that we wore. That's why when we have Passovers, high holy days, Sabbath service, all of these different events, we dress up in priestly garments. You know what I mean? It's traditional. It's when we go to camp, we wear the priestly garments, the warlike apparel, because we at war. We're warriors, and we at war. All right? So Christ was a warrior too. It says he's a man of war. You know what I mean? So he was clothed with the garment down to the foot and girt about the paps with a golden girdle. So the paps is your midsection, right? That's your midsection, your gut, right? So he had a girt around the paps with a golden girdle. So he had a war belt around his waist. That's to guard your stomach and keep your garment tight and keep your midsection protected and pulled in for warfare. But of course, because Christ is a black man, he couldn't just have any war. He couldn't just have any war belt. He couldn't have a war belt like I got today, made out of leather, which is, is actually pretty quality these days. But it doesn't compare to gold. Having a war belt made out of gold, pure gold. You understand? Like pure gold. Like nobody does that besides black people. Nobody does that. You know how many people I know that got black people that go and put diamonds in their car on the steering wheel and gold and chrome and platinum this and platinum that, just platinum and everything, and everything. That's just what we do. We just gotta have it like that. That's just how we gotta get it. We gotta get it like that. I gotta bust down the rollie, like we say. We gotta get the rollie bust down. I gotta have it with diamonds in the face. I gotta have the gold face. I gotta have the ring, the 4-finger ring with the gold rope. And that's just our nature, our culture. We just love gold and fancy things and fly things, and so did our ancestors, because Christ had on a golden girdle. All right. Verse 14, his head and his hairs were white like wool. All right. So white is the color and wool is the texture. Again, he's a black man. He has woolly hair. You know what I mean? Black people have woolly hair. It's white because white is what we would call today gray hairs. All right, because Christ was like I said, a phenomenal brother, a hard-working man, so much stress and so much responsibility. Like imagine you was somewhere to go die for somebody for ungodly people. You know, stiff-necked people, what the Bible calls it. The Bible says that black people, Hispanics, and Native Indians are stiff-necked people, meaning we're stubborn. All right? And we are stubborn. We get pushed back. You got to tell a brother, you got to argue a brother down about getting high. You got to argue a sister down about covering up her ass. You got to argue with brothers about simple things, man. Oh, man. I can't even think of some of the simple things you got to argue with brothers and sisters about. But when you're a priest, that's just the work we signed up for. You got to go through it. You got to be patient. You got to be diligent. You got to be, understanding. You got to deal with your people. And that's what Christ did. And he went through a lot, just like brothers go through today. We got families, we got slaveries, you know what I mean? We got children, wives, and we got a lot of responsibilities on top of having to fish brothers and fish sisters out of the world and counsel families and counsel sisters, counsel brothers, and rehabilitation. So many offices we hold in the UPK, and it's a lot of work, man. It's a lot of work. It's a heavy burden. So Christ had that burden. He became his hairs became gray, like it says, he had woolly hair, all right, and it was white as snow. And it says, and his eyes were as a flame of fire. Okay, the eyes is a flame of fire. So I'm getting into these small details. We coming up on the main part right now, which is the color of Christ. But his eyes were a flame of fire because he turned water into wine, and he became a heavy drinker of wine. He drank wine a lot. You know what I mean? Not to the point where he was drunk and couldn't make wise decisions. So brothers take note of that. Sisters take note of that. But enough to where the white of his eyes would turn red. Okay, so that's why it says, and his eyes were as a flame of fire. Verse 15 is where the meat is at. Okay, this is the meat right here of this color breakdown today. It says, and his feet like unto fine brass. You understand? These things right here are like brass right here. That's like brass. That's like brass. These dark browns. You understand? Brass is a derivative of brown. It said his feet were like unto fine brass. And if his feet is like brass, then his arms is like brass. And if his arms is like brass, then his whole body is like brass. You understand? This is where he's able to see in a vision his feet. And he said his feet were like brass, like fine brass. Go ahead. And it says, as if they burn in a furnace. As if they burn in a furnace. Now, if you throw anything in a fire, it's going to get darker. You know what I mean? Fire burns and it turns things dark. So not only was Christ a dark man, but he was a very dark man. He wasn't just brown, he was black. You know what I mean? This is in the Bible. So why is it so many pictures of white Jesus everywhere you look in the earth? Why is that the case? There's millions of pictures of white Jesus everywhere. They're everywhere. You go online and Google Jesus, you're going to get some white pictures for sure. You understand? Just like I said, some other people who would be considered judges or great people. You know what I mean? Like I said, like Beethoven, who was one of musical genius. Beethoven, man, musical genius, a pioneer of a piano art form that some can't even duplicate today, but was the foundation of a lot of great music today when it comes to pianists. You understand? But you go look him up, he's a white man. King James, who's probably spoke like 30 different languages, King James. You understand? Had a kingdom, had royalty and dominion over land. And you go look him up, he's a white man. Why is this the case? Because the wicked covereth the faces of the judges thereof. And it says what? When they speaketh they lie, they speaketh of their own. You understand? All of these people who are great ain't painted Chinese. They ain't painted as Africans, looking like Africans. They don't look like Hawaiians. They don't look like Arabs. They're white. That's who they're painted as. They're painted as white people. But when we go and look up little things like this, where it says Christ, you understand, Christ, his feet was like unto fine brass, as if they burn in a furnace, then we have to ask ourselves, like, why, like, where's the, how, like, who, there's a lies here, you know what I mean? It's something ain't adding up, man. But if you are a real Christian, and induced by Christian dogma, you're going to see something like this and just reject it and still go with white Jesus. You're still gonna go with God loves everybody, even if we show you that He don't love everybody. You're still gonna go off and being homosexual, even though we're gonna show you that it's an abomination to be homosexual. You're still gonna run off and go eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster and get high, even though we'll show you that getting high and smoking weed is unlawful. Because Christianity is the worst drug known to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. It's so potent that it makes you reject the truth when it's right in front of your face. So, but for those who are not slaves to religion, who are not slaves to America, we're able to analyze these things and battle those lies. You understand that we held on to all of those things that we were taught all our lives. You know what I mean? Everything that we were taught, you know, about Christmas and Thanksgiving and about, you know, Jesus and, you know, everybody, you know, everything we've been learning is a lie, man. All right, so let's get back into it. So it says, and his feet was like unto fine brass, as if they burn in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters, man. You go down into them mountains and you see them rivers and they rushing. That's a loud sound. Them rivers rushing, man. Like I said, these men in this Bible were loud. They spoke loudly. They spoke courageously. They were aggressive speakers, like black people naturally are, like Hispanics naturally are. You can hear Hispanics having a party 4 blocks down in the Bronx. You can be 4 blocks down and hear them partying. You know that the doom 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 doom. You know, I mean, got that you know that bass line. They dance. You can hear them laughing and joking and talking in that tongue, that Spanish, and that's just how we are. We just loud like that, man. I'm saying his voice was a sound of many waters, man. Okay, now let's go back to it. Now let's get back. So we just read now that the Most High is black. We just read that Christ is black, right? So now let's go and see what else is next. All right, let's see. Let's get Daniel chapter 10, verse 5. Daniel chapter 10, verse 5. And anybody got any questions at all, man? Anything you could think of, man, you let me know. I'm about to check them right now. Let's see. All right. Oh yeah, yep. 7 people watching and only 2 likes. Baba Rashad, like and share. Hey, that boy Polo, I need you to contact me, y'all. I need you to contact me, man. I'm gonna put my phone number in the comment section. I need you to contact me, y'all. 803-386-8553. Contact me. I got some things I need to go over with you, man. I've been trying to get in touch with you, Polo. Like, get in touch with me, man. I got some things to go over with you. But like the sister said, not to mention the 4 or 5 offerings they take up during the night service. Christian church is a pimp's place. Like, it's a pimp whore spot where they just pimp you out of your money, get all the grandma money, all of your money, all of the wives' husbands' money. You understand? You give me. I can't tell you how many times my mother done dragged me in the church and dragged my dad in the church and everybody. Church is full of women. And they giving up all their money, man. And the pastor is the pimp in there. He just pimping everybody, lying to them, all these smooth words, getting all your money, and then what do they do with your money? He go buy his wife a $500,000 Lamborghini truck. That's what he'll go do. He go spend the money on whores. He can go spend that money at the hostel or whatever they call them little places where they sell women right in the window. You just pick them out and go in there and have sex with them. And that's what they do with the money, man. The Christian church is the house of Satan, man. All right. So that's correct. That's correct, sis. You understand? They'll pass that offering plate around just to make that quota. They bring that thing around 2 times and they ain't get that quota. They sending it right back around. Listen, y'all got to dig deeper. Y'all got to dig deeper in them pockets, man. All right. So let's see what we got here next. Make sure everybody get on Facebook. Yeah, everybody get on Facebook. Listen, Polo, contact me. All right. All right, so it's like Daniel chapter 10, verse 5. Daniel chapter 10, verse 5 says what? Then I lifted up my eyes. So this is Daniel again having another vision. The first vision he had was what? Of the Most High, the Ancient of Days. Now he's having a vision of who? Yahweh Shah, or so-called Jesus Christ. So-called Jesus Christ. All right, so Daniel chapter 10, verse 5 says, then I lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, you know what I mean, whose loins were girded with fine gold of Uphaz, man. Here we go again, man. How many brothers seen at the club with the all linen suit on, the linen shirt with the linen pants, all white everything, with the white shoes, with the gold hanging, hanging and with that white background and them gold chains and gold bracelets. Bro, that's us, man. Y'all don't sleep on it, man. Not only these people black, but we practice we have the same tendencies that they had back then. And we don't understand why it's that way. For so long, black people have been looked at as, ignorant because we put gold in our mouth. We've been looked ignorant because we got all these chains like Slick Rick. We got all these chains around the neck. You know what I mean? We got all of it. But what do? They turn around and they make it profitable. Anything that black people like, they what? They mass produce it. And they patent it and make it their brand or make it their something that they own. Why? So they can be the one to get rich off of us and our culture and take every red cent that we got and make us feel like we ignorant for doing it. You understand? Like Colin Kaepernick, like you make them. Colin Kaepernick make the NFL billions of dollars throwing the football, but as soon as he get ready to stand for something, oh, you just need to stick to throwing the football. Now he's just a football thrower. He's not a black man that means something or stands for something. He's just a quarterback. You just shut up and throw the ball and shut up and run and shut up and dunk. That's all they want us to do. But truth be told, man, our forefathers were all of these great things that we are today, and they're the reason why we do a lot of the things that we do today, man. You understand? Christ, Daniel said he seen Christ, a man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with the fine gold of Uphaz. We just read that in the Revelations, that he had on a garment down to the foot with what? A golden girdle. All right? So now, verse 6, his body also was like the beryl, and his face as the appearance of lightning, man. Who knows what that means when it says his face is as the appearance of lightning? You understand? Why is his face the appearance of lightning? I'll give you an example. If you step outside right now, step out your front door, walk all the way out farther enough to where you can see the sky over your head, and a lightning strike right down in front of your face, what you gonna do? You're gonna jump out of your damn skin. You understand? You're gonna jump out of your skin because that lightning is powerful and strong and fast, and that's what Christ was. Christ was the appearance of lightning, so much so when you see him, you're like, oh man, whoo, that's a strong black man right there. And it's no different than how these other nations see us today. When they see these Hispanic brothers and they see them with, see us with, we working out, you know what I mean? How the essays, the Chico, we all, they pumping them weights out there in Cali. The black man, we on the yard, we in the gym, or we out in the courts, in the projects, we lifting weights. You got brothers like LeBron James, and he's 6 foot something, 200 something pounds, running at this top speed and jumping this amount of vertical and dunking, so much power. That's like the appearance of lightning to these other nations. They're like, look at what these people are capable of. Look how strong and austere they are. Look how strong and resilient they are, even in captivity, even in slavery. Like, that's why they had to do things in the past, like break the buck, because they had to make sure that the strong men didn't revolt or lead the people to revolt, because we will overthrow them. We'll take them out. You understand? So not only could they keep the strong black man from revolting, from torturing them, by torturing them, but if our followers, meaning the weaker men or the women or the children, see that strong man get broke down, then they're going to just submit to whoever is breaking them down. Like, listen, if you broke him down, you'll definitely do the same to me. Just what you want me to do? You want me to serve? I'll serve white Jesus. No swear, I'll serve white Jesus. You know what I mean? Even though the Bible, we know the Bible says Jesus black, I'm gonna say he white, so I can keep my life. You know, but at the end of the day, these men today who are the strong men, who are the courageous men, we need you brothers to come into the I.S.U.P.K and stand for something greater than yourself, man. Stand for something greater than America. Stand for something greater than your own family. Stand for your nation, man. You understand? Come up here and have that courage. And let's fight the good fight, man. Like I said, we don't got to go up and load up guns and shoot at these people. And wow, they make the guns. They manufacture the guns. They manufacture the bullets. We can't go to war with them like that. You know what I mean? They're organized. They got militaries. They got Navy, Marines. We're not going to defeat them like that. We're going to defeat them by serving the Lord. And it takes a courageous man to come into the UPK and serve the Lord with all subjection. I'm talking about and all submission to the Most High. You understand? But it's a lot of courage that goes into that, because you have to stand for something that everybody in the earth is against. Everybody in the world hates. You know what I mean? And it's a tough task, and we need more men to do that in order for us to what? To be back on inter-rulership again, to build our nation back up, our black businesses, our economy, our nation, our health, our wealth, our community, so on and so forth, right? So Christ was an austere black man. He had the appearance of lightning, and he was not to be played with, because not only was he appearance of lightning, but he was out here like the UPK teaching the truth. Teaching the truth, man. They didn't like what Christ was teaching. He was teaching to separate. He was teaching that his father don't love everybody. He didn't send me here to die for everybody. He told us in the records. He said that he came to die for his people. Think not that I come to he said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. This is what Christ was saying. And they killed him for it, man. But he was so courageous, and on top of him being austere and strong, that he took that one. He died for us, man. And we need more men like that, right? Sorry, I got a little sidetrack right quick. Salakia. All right? But he had the appearance of lightning, and his eyes as lamps of fire. Like I said, that white of his eyes that turned red because of wine consumption. And it says, and his arms and his feet like unto color, right? A lot of people say color ain't in the Bible. They say color ain't in the Bible. Color don't matter. You know what I mean? Color don't matter. Like they always say, color don't matter. If color don't matter, why are white people calling into Planned Parenthood and making anonymous donations specifically to black abortions? If color don't matter, if color don't matter, why is Dylan Storm Roof and all of those other domestic terrorists who are the devil that the Bible speaks of? Why are they specifically targeting black and Mexicans? If color doesn't matter, why is Jesus Christ painted as a white man? Why can't he just be painted as the man he's being depicted as in the Bible, a black man? If color don't matter, but you know what? Color does matter. You understand? And the only color that matter is what? Those blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand? That speckled bird that comes in all these different shades, man. Light brown, dark brown, black, blackity black. You know what I mean? And listen, color is not how we determine that nationality. You know what I mean? We got to argue with brothers about that too. Look at his skin. He's a white boy. Or he's in this. Listen, you don't go by skin color and determine nationality, because why? Because we are a speckled bird. You know what I mean? There are brothers that, coming up in captivity, or sisters that coming up in captivity have heathen moms. And they half of their side of their family is white, and they might take on some of those characteristics, but nationality is determined by your father, the seed of your father. All right? So let's move along. But Christ, it says, and his arms and his feet like unto color to what? To polished brass, man. Like again, like if you pull out a penny, you shine that penny up, that's what brass looks like. It's a derivative. That's what brass is. It's a derivative of brown. Okay? And then it says, and his voice, and the voice of his words, here we go again. How is the voice of his words? Like the voice of a multitude. So he sound like 2 or 3 niggas talking at the same time. That's how loud Christ was. He just sound like 4 niggas talking at the same time. And that's how we all talk. You know what I mean? I be talking to somebody, I don't be thinking about who around, who listening. I'm talking to my homeboy and we talking. You know what I mean? We just automatically loud. We just got automatically got a voice of a multitude. And that's just what it is. It's our culture. It's how we are. You know what I mean? Christ was the same way. Okay, so I'm gonna read that verse again. Verse 6. His body was like the beryl, and his face as the appearance of lightning, and his eyes as lamps of fire, and his arms and his feet like in color to fine brass. Again, we don't know these things, man. We don't know that. There's a lot of people who call themselves Christians, who are devout Christians, that don't know the color of Christ. That don't know what Christ looks like. You understand? That don't know. All right? Brother said very bright. I'm supposing you're talking about the skin color. Kazat. Yeah, we can have brothers that are very bright, light-skinned, light brights, or red bones, what we call them. And then we got brothers that's absolutely straight dark. Sisters that's real dark. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you know what I mean? We know that Christ is being painted as a white man, and he's far from white, as we read it in the scriptures. God in some cases is spoken to be white, but we know that he's far from that. Right? Sister said, we are mighty and they should fear us. That's absolutely correct. And they do fear us. Because we have that appearance of lightning. We have that spirit. A lot of brothers and sisters, lose that spirit because they join the Christian church. They join the Christian church, and the Christian church is turning our men into homosexuals, turning them into effeminate men who are like females, who look up to females. And what? The household is headed by females because what? Because the strong man is being bound. How? Through mass incarceration, through police brutality, through drug addictions, through all of those different things, man. Like, they're getting black men out of homes, child support. All of these things are helping to get black men out of the child support, and the households is being headed by women. And then when you go to church, they tell the brother, listen, brother, you got a happy wife, happy life, brother. You got to do what your wife say, brother. Or they tell the brother, don't be so loud and aggressive, man. Don't wear your pants so baggy. Don't wear your shirt so baggy. Just don't be so loud, man. Line yourself up. Get your nice beard. Shave your face down. Don't have the long hair with the braids. Get you a low cut. They want you to be soft and docile. You know what I mean? But the truth is, we are a warrior nation. Even the women are a warrior. We make up a warrior nation, where there were solid women like Esther, solid women like Ruth, and solid women like Jael. You know what I mean? Who stabbed a man in the head, a heathen in the head, man. Like, we got sisters that are courageous, nonetheless. All right. So we have to get that spirit back. You know what I mean? This is the spirit of our forefathers, man. That's that courageous spirit, that austere spirit. So it said, he had appearance of lightning, and his eyes as a lamp of fire, and his arms and his feet like in color to fine like into polished brass, and the voice of his words like the voice of a multitude. All right, let's drop that. Let's get down to let me get Isaiah chapter 1 verse 3. We're gonna deviate a little bit and go look at it from a different point of view. Okay, you know what I mean? Some other things where this book is about black people. It's talking about us. This is us. This us writing these passages. You understand? Inspired by the Most High, and they're writing it to us. For me today, for you today, for our generations to know who our forefathers were and what we went through, the battles that we fought, the feats that we accomplished, the traditions that we held, the way we dressed, the way we handled our brothers and sisters, the way we handled our slaves. All right, the way we dressed, the way we ate, the things we ate. That's all we have in the Bible, the dietary laws, so on and so forth, man. They wrote these things for us today because they knew that one day we will forget, man. We will forget. And that brings us to Isaiah chapter 1, verse 3. Isaiah chapter 1, verse 3 says, the ox knoweth his owner. All right, so the ox is a big, dumb animal, a ox. You tell it where to go and lead it, and wherever you want to lead it to, and it'll go there. You understand? And eat grass and run over things and everything else. You understand? But the ox knoweth his owner. When the owner come out, he knows his owner. All right? And the ass, which is another dumb animal, a donkey or an ass, the donkey, his master's crib. You understand? The donkey knows his master's crib. What does that sound like to you, yo? What does that sound like? His master's crib? Who else calls a house a crib? Nobody else calls a house a crib besides black people. Oh yeah, I'm at the crib right now. Pull up. Oh, you gonna meet me at the crib? Or she gonna stay the night at my crib tonight? Oh shit, yeah, man, I'm just chilling. You know what I mean? You know, everybody at the crib. You know what I mean? Oh yeah. Oh, you just copped a new crib. We call a house a crib, man. Don't nobody say that besides us. And we've been saying it obviously thousands of years ago. This is what we've been saying. It says it right here. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel doth not know. My people doth not consider. Now Israel doesn't know their owner. Israel doesn't know where their home is. Who is Israel? The man that calls himself a Jew, or the so-called Jewish man, he lives in Israel right now. He got the Diamond District. He got Hollywood. To me, if you ask me, they got everything they need. They know everything. They know something we don't know. I can tell you that much. You know what I mean? But Israel does not know, so they can't be talking about them. Black people, where's your homeland at? Hispanics, where your homeland? You understand? We're not talking about Puerto Rico. We're not talking about Mexico. We're not talking about Honduras or Costa Rica or any of those South American, Central and South American, areas, where we've been colonized and brought to. But where's your homeland? Where your forefathers from? Black man, where's your homeland? It's not Africa. That's where we were bought from, but that's not where we originated from. Where's your homeland? Who is your God? What is your God name? You celebrating Christmas every day. That goes back to the Babylonians and Saturnalia. You celebrating Thanksgiving. That go back to the Pilgrims. Hey, where's your history at, man? That's why it says the ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel, who is God's chosen people, they don't know, man. Black people, you are the children of Israel. Hispanics, you are the children of Israel. You Native Indians, you are the children of Israel. You are God's chosen people. You are the lost sheep that the Bible talks about, man. These books were written for you today, so you can be able to be reminded of who you are, man. So you don't have to keep getting taken advantage of by everybody, because what? A hoe gonna follow anybody. A hoe gonna do whatever anybody say. A hoe gonna be Christian. A hoe gonna be Muslim. A hoe gonna be all these things. He's just hopping from one religion to the next, one nation to the other. But when are we gonna stop being hoes and come back to who we are and embrace our identity and our culture and our heritage? And this starts right now in the I.S.U.P.K and the Command General YAHANNA. And we not only giving brothers and sisters their identity and their history, but we're giving them something that they can grow on, man. That's changing their lives. That's causing them not to be drug dealers anymore. Causing them not to be criminals anymore. Not to be hoes no more. It's causing them to be better fathers and better mothers and sons and daughters and husbands and wives. And we're changing the true condition of black people all the way around 180, man. You understand? I'm absolutely changing the condition of black people, and the things that we're doing in the I.S.U.P.K with these records in this Bible is performing miracles, man. You understand? When brothers and sisters thought they would never get off that crack and that cocaine and them cigarettes and weed, we come through with the spirit of the Most High, and we in the spirit of Christ, and we convict the spirit. We cast those demons out of brothers and sisters, man. And they stop smoking weed. They stop getting high. They stop being homosexuals, and they come up in here and they be who their forefathers was. These women be who their foremothers were. And you can't tell me that this ain't the home of the truth. All right? So we just read just now. It says, so this is in Isaiah, right? And he's saying the ass knows his master's crib. An ass knows his master's house. But Israel, we don't know, man. That's why they call us the lost sheep. We the only ones that don't have a military of our own. We the only ones that don't have a language of our own. We speak Spanish and English and French and Patois and Creole, which are all languages of our oppressors. All right? We don't know our language, and our true language is what? That Lashawan Quadash, or that ancient Hebrew. You understand? So we need to get back to those things. We're just showing you right now all of these different, all of the proof that this is our book. This is a black man's book. All right? Drop that. Let's get down into Let's get to Ezekiel right quick, man. I'm trying to get all these scriptures out real quick. Ezekiel chapter 1, verse 5. All right, Ezekiel chapter 1, verse 5. Let me check and see if I got any questions online. All right, we're good to go online. Most High in Christ. I see everybody in there. Hey, throughout it, everybody for attending the class. If you can like and share the video, comment, just say something. Sign in, check in. Shalom, Yahweh, Bashim, Yahweh, Barakatah. To all of the brothers out there. Shalom, Yahweh, Shemar, Bashim, Yahweh, Shah. To all of the sisters out there. It's good to have you in the class. Like and share this video. Let's get the truth out there, man. The more faster we get this truth, the more we spread it, the more we can wake up our nation, and we can overturn the authority of America and take our oppressors out of rulership, man. And put blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians where they belong, and that's on top, man. All right? So let's get Ezekiel chapter 1, verse 5. Ezekiel chapter 1, verse 5. Now, this is a tricky one right here. You know, we use a Christian in the Christian church, they're going to read this, and they're going to make it all spooky and stuff, and make it, the Christian church is all just a bunch of spooks, talking snakes and little red men with horns and pitchforks and seven-headed dragons, and it's just a bunch of hoopla. You understand? But we're going to break this scripture down today, all right? Ezekiel chapter 1, verse 5, it says, also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures. 4 living creatures, right? And this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man. Okay, so these four living creatures had the likeness of a man, right? This is the appearance. And every one had 4 faces. So they had 4 faces. So we got 4 creatures with 4 faces each. And every one had 4 wings. They had 4 wings now, right? So just imagine me as one of those creatures. I got 4 faces, right? I got 4 wings on my back. And it says on verse 7, and their feet were straight feet, and the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot. So we thinking now, like, man, this does sound pretty spooky. This does sound pretty spooky. It sounds real mythological. You know, how a Christian church looks at everything in the Bible is all mythical and it's all theoretical. And it's nothing that's talked. The snakes can talk. The snake, it was a python that talked to Eve in the garden. No. Just so I can fill you in right quick since we on the topic. What do black people call people today who are conniving? What do we call people today that'll stab you in your back? What do we call people today that we can't trust? We call them what? Snakes. We call them snakes. We do it today. And that's what they call that man in the garden a snake. It was a man. It wasn't a snake. It was a man who was untrustworthy, who was conniving, who was what? Somebody who would stab you in the back, and he did so. He convinced Eve, he connived, being conniving, he convinced Eve to do what God told her not to do what her man told her not to do. You understand? And a lot of you women out here are always talking about, I want a good man, I need a good man, somebody good man. Well, Eve had a good man. She had a perfect man. Her man had dominion over the whole and all everything, over the fowls of the air. He had dominion over the fish in the sea, the beasts and everything that creep upon the earth, the land, the milk, and the honey. Did that stop her from going out and disobeying him? Sisters, you have to fight your demons, man. All right, you have to fight your demons, man. The Lord's going to send a man into your life, and you better make sure you take the proper outlets and the proper precautions to make sure you end up with a man that you can be sure that you're going to submit to for the rest of your life, because you only get one chance. Sex is marriage, and you're going to be with that man, and that man is going to be with you for the rest of your lives. All right, and you're going to have to submit to him by law. So make sure he's the right man, all right? But nonetheless, you got to battle those demons, man. You got to battle your demons and don't battle your husband. If he tell you to do something, follow his instructions, man. Because like the scriptures say, obey your masters according to the flesh, for they guard your souls. Men that are in the UPK, that are here, even men in the world, have that protecting spirit that they want to protect their wives. They want to protect their children. And they in most cases, have that spirit. Of course, a lot of brothers are destroyed in the earth, which is what we're here for. But come into the I.S.U.P.K, and you can earn you a warrior here that's going to take good care of you. But nonetheless, speaking of slang, because it's a black man's book, Eve met a snake in the garden. It wasn't a real reptile. It was a man, because we call snakes, we call people that we can't trust snakes. All right, so boom. Now we got that out the way. Let's get back to these 4 creatures with the 4 faces, right? So these 4 creatures had 4 faces, 4 wings, and their feet were straight feet, and the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot, and they sparkled like the color of burnished brass. Ooh-wee. So you know what this scripture is describing right now? You understand? Do you know what this is talking about, these 4 creatures? These creatures are the angels of the Lord, of the Most High. This is a description of the angels. Now, when you think of angels, before we read this, what did you depict angels to be? Go on the online or Google and type in angels and click images and see what come up. You're going to see the pictures, that Michelangelo painted, that Leonardo da Vinci painted, with the little white naked babies with the wings, and they touching fingers. Everybody's always touching fingers for some reason. I don't get it. I never gotten it. I didn't get that breakdown. But they always touching fingers for some reason. The little white naked babies, Adam and Eve, Adam, out with his tiny rod, and Eve naked, and they touching fingers. And you see the angels, and they always some white men with nice, nice stringy straight hair and blue eyes, and no. That's not what the angels of the Most High look like. The angels of the Most High look like this. You understand? Creatures with 4 faces, with 4 wings. And you know why they look like that? You know why they look like that? You know why the Most High created the angels to look like that? You know why they got 4 wings? I'm gonna tell you why right now. They don't look like that and have 4 wings so they can be able to fly. No. They have those wings, and they look like that to be frightening. That's why. To be frightening. The more unorthodox, the more frightening. He got 4 faces and calf's foot and 4 wings. These are the angels of the Lord, and they are frightening. And when the time when Yahweh Shah Mashiach returns to give salvation, to give justice to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, he's coming back and cracking that sky with 200 million black angels that are going to look just like this, man. 200 million of them. All right? 200 million. Michael, Gabriel, all of them coming down with the flying saucers, the chariots. And Christ is coming back, and he's going to do what? Prepare slaughter for our oppressors' for the iniquities of their fathers, man. And Most High in Christ to that, man. Barakatha Yahweh Yahweh Shah, man. You understand? Black people, that's the patience of the saints. You come in the I.S.U.P.K. and you get right so you can be ready when that day comes, man. Okay? All right? We're going to push for that. That's what we pushing for, man. We cleaning up brothers and sisters, raising up that 144,000, saving our brothers out of this hellish condition so that we can be able to be brought to heaven, man. A heavenly condition, which is black supremacy, man. The kingdom of heaven is black supremacy, man. All of these people are black people. And when Christ come back, a black man, to bring the kingdom of heaven for the nation of Israel, he's bringing the kingdom of heaven for black people, a.k.a. black supremacy, man. Black people are going to rule the earth, as we've done many years and many times in history. But this time is going to be forever. It's going to be everlasting salvation, all right? It's going to be right here on earth. And guess what? People like Donald Trump and everybody else, if they're not slaughtered, we're going to build a wall around the kingdom of heaven to keep them out. Understand? We're going to take one of Donald Trump's ideas. We're going to build a wall around the kingdom of heaven. You understand? And keep them out, because they're the real gangsters and criminals. All right? Let's go ahead and get back into it. So we just read about the angels. They said they were into like color. Hold on, let me see. Let's read that one more time right quick. You understand? All right, so verse 7, Ezekiel chapter 1, verse 7, and their feet were straight feet, and the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot, and they sparkled like the color of burnished brass, meaning the angels were black too, man. They were black too. This is all black people, bro. The angels is black, the Most High is black, Christ is black. We done read already. Y'all need to get some more. We done gotten to the slang. We done read about how Israel don't know who they are. Black people, you call yourselves American. You call yourselves African. You ain't African or American. African American. Africa and America was named after two Italian explorers that colonized these two lands. And what is it? Africanus, Scipio Africanus and Amerigo Vespucci. If I'm not mistaken, I think I'm on point with those two names. But those are the Italian explorers that colonized these two lands. You calling yourself after them. You're not African American. Black is a color. Black means royal. Black like nigger or nigger, like people get mistaken as ignorance. Those things mean royal, but that's not your identity. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the 12 tribes of Israel. You a so-called Negro, you come from the tribe of Judah. You a so-called Jamaican, you come from the tribe of Benjamin. All my Mexicans out there, you come from the tribe of Issachar. You are a Issacharite. You know what I mean? All my sisters and brothers that's from those Native Indians, Native Americans, you are from the tribe of Gad, the tribe of Reuben. You know, the tribe of, you know what I mean? The Dominicans from the tribe of Simeon. Like, you better get to know your identity, man, your true identity. You're going to learn it right here in I.S.U.P.K. All you got to do is stay in class. All you got to do is raise your hand. You can't do that in the Christian church. You can't raise your hand and ask a question in church. Nuh-uh. You can do that in here, though. And we're not going to tell you. We're not going to be as the snakes in here. In here, we're going to be as your brothers and tell you the truth. Okay? All right, let's drop that. Let's drop that and let's go down. Let's go see about Solomon right quick. Let's get Solomon 1 and 5. All right? Solomon 1 and 5. We all know about Solomon, right? Solomon was the wisest king to ever rule. You understand? The Lord had favor in Solomon. You know what I mean? Solomon was, you know, like I said, the wisest king. He had a dominion over the land and the kingdom of Israel, and over Israel, and he was a mighty man, Solomon. Let's read more about Solomon. Let me get Solomon chapter 1, verse 5 in the King James Version of this Bible, man. All right? King James, a black man, by the way, for those who just got into class. All right? So Song of Solomon 1 and 5 says, I am black. Ooh-wee. Do we need to continue? They said that this is a white man's book. What Solomon said, I am black. They said that Jesus is white. What Solomon said, I am black. You know that Solomon comes from the tribe of Judah. He's the descendant of Judah. David and Saul, they're descendants of Judah. Christ, Jesus Christ is the descendant of Judah. These are all Negroes, so-called Negroes, black people. And he's telling you right now, Solomon says, I am black. You understand? I am black, and what else he says? But comely. What does the word comely mean? The word comely is old Quaker English, right? Comely means beautiful. So Solomon is saying, I'm not only black, but I'm beautiful. You understand that? I'm black and I'm beautiful. And what? And what? Just like James Brown said, I'm black and I'm proud. And what? Made a whole song about it. You can go play it right now on YouTube today and feel good about yourself being black, man. These men in this Bible felt good about their color and who they were. And they made it sure that you knew who they were and what color they were too. That's why we're reading it right here. It says what? Song of Solomon 1 and 5. I am black, but comely, but beautiful. Right? And it don't just stop there. It don't just stop there. Let's drop down from 5. Let's go down to verse 10. Let's go down to verse 10. Verse 10 says what? Thy cheeks are comely. What do we say comely means? Right, comely means beautiful. So it's saying thy cheeks are beautiful. Why are they beautiful? With rows of jewels. Why is it saying rows of jewels in thy cheeks that are beautiful? Why? Because we're talking about a grill right now. Do you understand what we're bringing out right now? You fill your mind with these things. And this what we're teaching right now, this spirit and this truth. And you want to grasp more of why you need to be in this truth and, you know, what you've been missing and who you are. That some things that we're going to unlock in you that you already had, and you didn't even know why you had it that way or why it was like that. Brothers wear grill. I'm going to get me a grill here sometime soon. I'm definitely going to get, my cheeks is going to become comely come Passover. I'm going to be in the Passover. My cheeks going to be comely with rows of jewels. You know what I mean? Everybody on the earth looked at black people like, look at them putting all the golds in their mouth and the diamonds and all that. They look at the baby, and look at Lil Wayne and everybody else, and they just all got the golds and diamonds and platinum and everything in their mouth. But guess what? They ain't doing nothing but what their forefathers did. They ain't doing nothing but what our forefathers did. Solomon said, I'm black and I'm beautiful. And not only that, he said what? Thy cheeks are comely. Meaning my cheeks are beautiful with rows of jewels. He got gold and jewels in his mouth. And what? Thy neck with chains of gold. Come on, man. Ain't no other nation in history do it like this besides black people, Hispanics, and Native Indian people. You're not going to find it anywhere else. If they doing it, they copying after us. We do this with so much integrity and so much, finesse. It's just like, it's like waking up and brushing our teeth every morning. It's nothing. It's what we do. You know what I mean? We put golds in our mouth. You know what I mean? It's nothing. You know how many of my people I grew up with in the country and they all got golds, permanent gold teeth? That was regular. That was regular to have gold teeth, man. Now brothers and young brothers coming up in my generations, and we go out and we get the whole thing slugged out. We call it slugged out, which is another slang. Slugged out. We go and say, oh, man, I'm trying to get slugged out. The only person that's going to know what you're talking about is black people, Hispanic people, Native Indian people, our people. White man going to be like, slugged out? What is this slugged out you speak of? They not going to know. Like we always say in the club, we be like, the roof is on fire. We don't need no. See, now when we get done, we're going to say, you don't need no water, let that mother burn, right? White man here, the roof is on fire. He going to hit the alarm. He going to hit the alarm. He done alerted the authorities. The fireman is outside because they don't speak our language, man. And that's why these Christian churches and these universities are not teaching the right things, because they don't understand this Bible. They don't understand this writing. This is poetry. This is similes, metaphors, parables, slang. It's just a different spirit that they don't understand. They can't really understand it, but here in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, we've been given the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. And we're able to decipher this, man, and tell you what this Bible is talking about and put it to you in such a way that you feel relative to this Bible even today, even though it was written thousands and thousands of years ago. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is. So it says in verse 10, thy cheeks are comely. Matter of fact, let's go back to verse 5 right quick. Verse 5, Solomon said, I am black but comely, meaning beautiful. And then we go down to verse 10. And you can go ahead and read into it, you know what I mean? We just, like I said, today's a color breakdown, so we emphasizing all the color in the Bible. We go down to verse 10, because not only are we talking about color, but we're talking about characteristics. Rocking gold teeth, rocking chains, slang, calling men who you can't trust snakes, calling houses cribs. You know what I mean? Like, all of these things are black tendencies and black characteristics. And literally black people are the ones that are writing this. All right? So it says, verse 10, thy cheeks are comely with rows of jewels, thy neck with chains of gold. All right? Let me see what we're going to get to after this. So we got about 10 more minutes. Let's get Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2. Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2. Again, everybody like and share this video. That boy Polo, if you watching, Baba Kwasha, which Baba Kwasha means please in Hebrew. If you can give me a call, send me a text message so I can have your contact information. However you need to do it. I really need to get in touch with you out. We trying to make some moves, and I want to make sure we get you in the right path to be able to get raised up out there where you are, man. Okay? So let me go ahead right here and check right quick, see if we got any questions or comments. Yeah, Christian church is definitely a magic show, for sure. You know what I mean? Yes, that's correct, sis. We call them snakes. You know what I mean? We call people we can't trust snakes. Like he a snake. We also call people rats, right? If we would today call somebody a rat, most people, maybe a Chinese man or somebody overlook hearing, but think we're talking about a little rat. And that's just how these other nations look at the Bible when they read it. Like, oh, it's just talking snake in the garden. No, man. That's not what's happening. You know what I mean? It's not a talking snake. It's a man that's talking who you can't trust. Just like you can't trust a snake today. You know what I mean? They talk about us being jeweled out to imitate us, right? They talk about us being jeweled out. Like, look at their gold chains, and look at they always gonna put diamonds on everything, and always want to put gold on everything, and all the extra they get their money, and all they do is buy gold. They spend their last bit of dollars on diamonds. Hey man, listen, we gonna do what the hell we want to do with our money. How about that? How about you give us our goddamn land back? Matter of fact, we own all the gold in the earth, all the resources. Matter of fact, give it back. You understand? Give us our culture back. Give us our identity back, man. We're going to get into that, man. We're going to get into them giving our identity back because the so-called man who calls himself Jewish has stole our identity, man. Stole identity theft. You understand? They are the true fraud, the true identity fraud. They are the true originators of identity theft, man. You know what I mean? They're the true original terrorists. And they are the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. All right? Let me get Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2. Jeremiah 14, verse 2 says, Judah mourneth. Here, let's break that down. Judah, which is what? One of Israel's sons. He's one of the 12 tribes. He's one of the progenitor of the 12 tribes. Mainly, of course, the tribe of Judah. All right? The tribe of Judah today will correlate with the so-called Negroes. You understand? Judah mourneth. But let me break it down. Let me break it down right quick. Judah is referred to as Jew as well, all right? So when you say somebody is a Jew, you're saying that it's a shorter way of saying they're Judah or they're from the tribe of Judah. All right? So that's where the word Jew comes from. Okay? That's the abbreviation of Judah, okay? So the Jews, basically what it's saying, are in mourning. Judah mourneth. Now, about that man that's in Israel that calls himself Jewish, all in America, in the Bronx, in Brooklyn, and down in the Carolinas, calls himself Jewish, all in Hollywood, in the Diamond District, call themselves Jewish. Is he mourning? Are they in mourning? Are they in mourning? And don't tell me about no Holocaust, because no Holocaust wasn't nothing compared to the transatlantic slave trade. When you find out who the Jews really were, then it would make total sense. Like, damn, yeah, you know what? If these people are the real Jews, and what they endured in the transatlantic slave trade, and here in America today in 2020, 2019, yeah, they definitely are in mourning. They've been in mourning for hundreds of years. But the man in Israel calls himself a Jew, but he's not mourning. His family is not in poverty. His family is not in tribulations. You know what I mean? Their people are not being shot down by white police officers. Their people are not being, babies are not being aborted 500,000 a year, 300,000 a year. Their people are not number one in AIDS and STDs. Their people are not number one in single parent homes. They're not in mourning, man. It's us that are in mourning for all of those things and more. Okay? And why are we in mourning? Why are black people in mourning? The real Jews that the Bible speaks of, it says it right here. It says, because the gates thereof languish. The gates represent protection. Something that you put out in front of you. You put a gate in front of you to protect you from what's on the other side. It's a defense. But this gate represents what? Our black leaders, man. Our black leaders are supposed to be on the front line, negotiating, protecting, defending what? The nation of black people and Hispanics and Native Indians. Our leaders are supposed to be there. They're supposed to be our gates. But like it says right now, the gates languish, meaning they're weak. And because they're weak and they languish, Judah mourneth. Black people mourn. Hispanics mourn. There's drugs in our community. There's abortion in our community. There's homosexuality in our community. Violence in our community. No black businesses. Police brutality. Black on black crime. Donald Trump deporting our Hispanic brothers. Honduras is piss poor. Haiti is piss poor. You understand? All of those Hispanic and the Caribbean countries down there are poor, man. We're in mourning, man, because our leaders are weak because they sold us up the road for a chain and a whip, man, a whip and a chain. All right? But what does it say after it says they languish? It says what? They are black. Most High in Christ, man. Here's the proof that the Jews are black. If not, anything else that we have to pull out here is not enough. You understand? They are black unto the ground. You understand? And the cry of Jerusalem has gone up, man. You understand? We mourn every day. We cry every day. Black people are grieving. You know, the brother Trayvon Martin was murdered by George Zimmerman. If that wasn't enough for his mother and parents and his family to bear, but the same devil that killed Trayvon Martin is now suing his family, man. Suing his family for defamation of character because for some reason America has made this man what? Innocent. He's not a murderer. He's not a racist. But he turned around and sell the gun that he murdered Trayvon Martin with. He sells packs of Skittles and he sells shirts with Skittles on it. He takes pictures. He relics and flaunts our pain and destruction. That's something that America has done since the dawn of time. That's why you still see plantations in Charleston, South Carolina, where they hold tours at. That's why you still see, auction blocks in certain areas. You still got things that they hold that are supposed to be historic places and things, but really are where our forefathers were sold and tortured at, man. It's now historical places, and they get paid and hold tours because they put that stuff in our face, man. You understand? Like we cry every day. We don't even have time to mourn because we gotta suffer something else right behind another, one thing after another, and it's driving our people crazy, it's driving us into depression. We're dying from stress, heart attacks, strokes, and in order for these people to change, in order for our people to change, they need the I.S.U.P.K under Commander General YAHANNA, man, to come out here and teach them and shoot them their transgressions, to give them their identity, to give them their spirit back, to show them who they are. And it's helping, and it's been working since 1969. And Barakatha Yahweh Yahweh Shah, man. All right, so let me drop that right quick. Let's get Revelations 2 and 9. I'm about to put a little speed on it. Our black leaders have left us down. We are sad. Let us down, right? Look at our sharpening. We just seen a thing with a brother in somewhere, I don't know where it was at. They stabbed and shot some Jewish people. Of course, because America and everybody else loves Jewish people so much, because if anybody's close to God, it gotta be them. You understand? So they're gonna make laws and do things in order to protect them. But you got people like Al Sharpton, who's supposed to be on the front line for black people in the hood. He all the way up there talking about some devils that got killed. You understand? Trying to find a solution for some devils that got killed when black people are getting killed in the ghetto every damn day. Reverend Al Sharpton has let us down. You understand? Reverend Jesse Jackson has let us down. T.D. Jakes, all these pastors and all these churches, all the Catholic churches, a lot of our Hispanic brothers are in the Catholic churches. Because what? Because of the Spaniards that came from over from that area. Spaniards and Italians that came pushing that Roman Catholicism and pushing it on our Spanish brothers and sisters. That's why so many Mexicans are in the Catholic Church, and they got the Rosemarys and the Virgin Marys outside. They are letting us down, man. You right, brother Kazak, Trooper Kazak. Shouts out to Trooper Kazak, man. Trooper Kazak know what he talking about, man. These people, these are our leaders let us down, man. They are weak, like the Bible says. They are languished, man. You understand? Let me get Revelation chapter 2, verse 9. You understand? We're gonna end it with this real quick. And we got some other scriptures too as well that bring out the color. You go to Acts 13 and 1. Matter of fact, I'm gonna definitely get Acts 13 and 1. Let's get Revelations 2 and 9 first, all right? Revelation chapter 2, verse 9 says, I know thy works and tribulations, right? Black people work hard, man. We look at Hispanics, man. Hispanics are damn near they built America for $2 an hour. Our I.S.U.P.K brothers, our so-called Mexican brothers, man. You know what I mean? Black people, Negroes were the first commodities on Wall Street. The first products on Wall Street. And look how rich Wall Street is today, off of slavery, off of cotton, off of us building these cities and cleaning these hotels and fixing their roofs and innovating our inventions and them patenting it and us fighting in their wars and in their police forces and their sports leagues, bringing back gold medals. And come on, man. The Most High, he said he knows our works. He knows our tribulations. He knows we're suffering. Are the Jews suffering? Are the so-called Jewish man suffering? You understand? Are they working hard? Hell no, they ain't working hard, man. They ain't doing nothing. They ain't doing a damn thing. They sitting back on their ass while black people, Hispanics, and Native Indians make them rich, man. And do all their work. You understand? Out here on Christmas and stuff, buying these gifts on Christmas, celebrating some satanic holiday, celebrating going out on Black Friday like good Uncle Tom Negroes that they made us to be, and we make them rich, man. These 2 holidays alone, they said America's made the most money they've made in history in this last Christmas, man. And like Commanding General YAHANNA said, that's why they're going to re-elect Donald Trump. Because under Donald Trump's leadership and all of that wall and tariffs and everything he's been putting forth, something must have been working, because look how much more money we've made. And that's what it's all about. It's all about the money, the economy. And you're going to make him president again just because black people, Hispanics, and Native Indians bought up everything. We were good slaves, and we went and celebrated all of the white man's holidays, went and bought all the white man's products, went and worked 80 hours at his business producing his products just to make a check to go buy his products to give it to our people to so-called make them happy, man. But we have bought a gift and chosen a gift that's not better than a gift that the Most High has for us, man. You understand? So, but anyway, the Most High, the scriptures say, I know thy works and tribulations and poverty. But even though, understand, he's saying, you know our poverty, meaning we're poor, it says, but thou art rich, man. Why are we rich? Why are we rich? Even if you never realize how black people be so poor, but we still somehow find a way to party. We still find some way to be happy and enjoy ourselves and laugh and have the things that we want. It's because we have the spirit of the Most High, man. We have the spirit of the Lord. We are God's chosen people. We have the covenants of the Lord. We have the service of the Lord. We have the promises, the blessings. We have all of those things because we are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of, and that's why we're rich. And that's the gift that we need to be trying to obtain. All of those things, those blessings, those promises, those covenants, that's the service of the Lord is the gift that we need to be trying to get, instead of out here serving some white man's holiday and trying to get some gift like some flat screen TV and end up dead or in jail behind that, man. But he says, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy means something that's against the Bible, something that's contrary to the Bible. I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews. Which are Jews? Jews are those from the tribe of Judah, or one of the sons of Israel, which is biblical, right? I know the blasphemy of them that say they are Jews and are not. Those men and women out there that calling themselves Jewish out there in Israel or anywhere else in America or on the earth, they are not the Jews that the Bible speaks of. But you know who they are? It says it right here. But are the synagogue of Satan, man. They are the synagogue of Satan is what they are. They are the devil that the Bible speaks of. The wicked the Bible speaks of. And we should separate from them, meaning stop celebrating their holidays. Stop trying to seek their approval. Stop trying to be their friends, man. Leave them alone. Let them be the homosexuals that they are. Let them be the criminals that they are. You be righteous. You be courageous in the truth. You be separate, which is what the word holy means. Be separate. Let me get Acts chapter 13, verse 1 right quick, man. Before we're gonna end it out with this, man. You be separate, man. Be with the Lord. Like the Lord told Adam and Eve, he said, I give you this, the breath of life, the tree of life, right? And he said, you can have all of these things, dominion, the milk, the honey, and all of these things I've given you, but just don't eat of the tree of knowledge, man. You understand? Don't eat the tree of knowledge. The tree of knowledge represents other nations. Don't love these other nations. Don't do what they do. Do what I gave you, your culture. These are your cultures. These are your laws, your commandments, and your traditions. You hold on to that and don't eat of this. Don't partake in that. And that's what we have to do. We have to come back to. We have our own identity. We have our own holy days. You understand? Which is kind of like having a holiday in America, but it's our days that we celebrate. We have our own holy days. We have our own culture, our own traditions, our own history, man. And we get back to those things, we can have our own, we can have our authority back. We can be able to have our families back together, be able to live, mothers and fathers raising their kids together. You understand? Then growing up to be grandparents and having the grandkids and the grandkids and grow older and see our families grow and see our oppressors serve. You understand? In our heaven. All right? Let me get Acts chapter 13, verse 1. Acts chapter 13, verse 1 says, "Now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers." So this is talking about certain prophets and teachers. So we're describing the prophets right now. All right? And it says, "As Barnabas and Simeon, that was called Niger." All right? So Niger is like they call us today, nigger or nigga. It's the same thing. It's derived from the same term, which is Niger. All right? And then we go into this Zondervan. Niger is a Latin word, right? And Niger, you understand, we got it in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. You can go get this book. It's a cheap book to get as well on Amazon.com. Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary is how we define names and terms that are in the Bible closely to what they were defined, what they meant in those days, and not more so what they mean today. Okay, so Niger, it says what? What's the first thing it says? Black. Niger, black. All right, simple as that. That's what it means. Niger means black. So the prophets were called black. Let's read it again. Acts 13 and 1. "Now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers." So the prophets and teachers in this time that we look up to, that wrote these books in these Bibles, in this Bible, as Barnabas and Simeon, they were called Niger, which is black, man. So don't worry about white people calling you nigger. They calling us nigger or any of those things. Shit, they can call us monkeys and coons and everything else, but guess what? We know who we are. We know we are rich. And even though we are in captivity, we are God's chosen people. We have something that they can never obtain. They can obtain all the land. They can obtain all the wealth. They can obtain all the power, but they will never, ever have the service of the Lord. They will never, ever have the promises or the covenant or the blessings that the Lord has to give, man. They'll never have that, man. And as for these people who are the wicked, the devil that the Bible speaks of, they're never going to get mercy, man. When the Most High sends his son back again, a black man from the tribe of Judah, he says he's going to prepare slaughter, and the nation of Edom will be the only nation that will not receive mercy, meaning at some point in history, in the future, the only place you're going to be able to see our oppressor is in a museum somewhere. With that, we are the I.S.U.P.K, started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York City, under Commander General YAHANNA, established in 1969. We teach the truth according to the Bible, that the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the children of Israel. Again, we are not affiliated with any other Israelite group. The Bible is a black man's book. It was written by black people, for black people. We at I.S.U.P.K. Shalom. Salaki, I'm going to actually read these announcements right quick, if I may. Salaki. All right, so I.S.U.P.K. security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K. Start out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for a new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. Brothers and sisters, when you come into the I.S.U.P.K, you hear the truth that we're bringing out. We're here to change brothers and sisters' lives. We're trying to make them better men and better women, and ultimately to be better husbands and wives. Let brothers and sisters learn the truth. Sisters and brothers, take this seriously, man. You understand? Take this seriously, what we're teaching in I.S.U.P.K. All of these things, even down to these security announcements, are traditional and things that were set to guard our souls so we can have the best life possible we can live together as Israelites, man. So again, when a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which a brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers 18 and 21, Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10, means 10th in the Hebrew is ma'ashara, which is like I said, means 10th in the Hebrew, which is 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Pay those tithes, man. It's a law. Pay those tithes. You go to ISUPK.com, click the donations tab, put your name and what the money is going towards, put the amount in, and you can pay your tithes. Also, priest funds. It's a free will offering for the priest, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocation. Again, we have our own holy days. These are holy days. Every year our calendar comes out. It tells you when the holy days are on land, where you can find them. Our next holy day is Purim. Again, the Purim is the 14th day and the 15th day of the 12th month. This year, that's going. This year coming, that's going to be Saturday, March 7th, and Sunday, March 8th, 2019. Salagia, 2019, which would be 2020, if I'm not mistaken. They should have it on here, 2020. And you can find out about that in Esther chapter 9, verse 20 through 31. Again, when that holy day comes, we ask the brothers and sisters to come together with their schools or join us online, hear the breakdown of the story of our holy day so you can get more familiar with your history and what your people celebrate. All right? Okay, and okay, so we got the holy convocation. Any Akim Wa'akwathian, you're supposed to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to become a trooper in the school, you have to start wearing all black. That's all black boots, all black shirt, all black pants, and an all black war band, headband or war scarf. All right, with that, shalom.